From the moment I opened my eyes that morning, I knew something had to change. I was tired of waking up feeling defeated, tired of pretending everything was fine, when deep down I knew I was lost. I remember staring at the cracked ceiling of my tiny apartment, wondering how life had slipped so far away from the dreams I once had. I had no money in my bank account, no plan for the future, and no one who truly believed I could make it. The silence in that room was heavier than anything I had ever felt, but somewhere within that silence, a small voice whispered, "Keep going," and that whisper would soon change everything. When I stepped outside that day, the air felt cold against my skin, like a reminder that the world didn't owe me anything. I had failed at nearly everything I tried. I had been rejected from jobs, turned away by people who once called themselves friends, and laughed at by those who said I'd never make it. The truth is, they were right. I was failing miserably, but something inside me refused to die that day. As I walked through the city streets, I saw people rushing by, chasing their own dreams, and for the first time, I asked myself, why not me? Why couldn't I fight back? Why couldn't I start again? So I did. I started from nothing. I picked up small jobs that barely paid the bills. I worked early mornings and sleepless nights. And I poured my soul into learning everything I could. I failed again and again, sometimes so badly that I wanted to give up. But every time I hit the ground, I found a new reason to get back up. There were nights when I cried in silence, when the weight of disappointment pressed against my chest so hard I could barely breathe. But those were the nights that built me. The pain became my teacher. The failure became my fuel. I remember the first time something finally worked. I had spent weeks on a project that everyone said would go nowhere. When it finally came to life, I felt something inside me shift. It wasn't about the success itself. It was about realizing that I had built it with my own two hands. No one had given it to me. I had earned it through every sleepless night, every tear, every rejection. That was the first moment I understood that failure isn't the opposite of success. It's the path to it. People often see success as a straight line, but mine was anything but that. It was messy, painful, unpredictable, and lonely. There were moments when I thought I'd made it only to lose everything. Again, I watched opportunities slip through my fingers. I watched people walk away when I had nothing to offer, but each time I rebuilt myself a little stronger, a little wiser. I learned that the world doesn't reward those who wait. It rewards those who fight. There was one night I'll never forget. I was standing alone on a bridge, looking out over the dark water below. My mind was full of doubts and fears that I thought about quitting, about walking away from it all. And then I remembered that broken version of myself, the one lying on the floor years ago, promising to keep going. I couldn't betray that person, not after everything they endured. So I made a choice. Right there, I decided that no matter what, I would never stop moving forward. After that, something inside me shifted permanently. I stopped worrying about who believed in me and started believing in myself. I stopped waiting for the right moment and started creating it. Every small win became a victory worth celebrating. Every setback became a lesson worth learning. The same people who once doubted me started asking how I did it. They couldn't see the years of struggle, the nights of fear, the endless failures that shaped the person I had become. They only saw the success. But I knew the truth. I knew that success without failure is just luck, and I didn't want luck. I wanted strength. As time went on, the results started to show. The things I once dreamed of slowly began to unfold in front of me. The projects I once failed at became my signature. The voice that was once filled with doubt now spoke with purpose. The life I once feared I'd never live became real. It wasn't about money or fame or recognition. It was about knowing I had survived. It was about realizing that the same darkness that once tried to break me had become the reason I could now shine so bright. And here's what I want you to take from my story. Whatever your dream is, whatever your struggle is, remember this. You are allowed to fall. You are allowed to cry. You are allowed to feel lost. But what you are not allowed to do is quit. Because every person who has ever achieved something great started exactly where you are, right now, scared, uncertain, and full of doubt. The only difference is they didn't stop. They used the pain as power, the failure as fire, and the fear as fuel. I want you to imagine one thing. You a year from now, looking back at this exact moment. How proud would you be if you knew this was the day you decided to fight back? The day you chose to stand when everything around you said fall. The day you stopped waiting for permission and gave yourself the right to succeed. Because that's what it takes. Not luck, not magic, not talent. It takes courage. The courage to start again. The courage to fail. The courage to rise. My journey from failure to success isn't unbelievable because it was easy. It's unbelievable because I didn't give up when everything told me to. It's unbelievable because I learned that rock bottom isn't the end. It's the foundation. And if my story can prove anything, it's that you are capable of more than you realize. You are stronger than your excuses, braver than your fears, and closer to success than you think. So if you're watching this right now and you feel like giving up, don't. Your story isn't over this moment. Right here is just the beginning. Stand tall. Take a deep breath and remember this. Success is not about never falling. It's about always getting back up again and again until the world has no choice but to notice your strength. Because one day, when you look back, you'll realize that the struggle, the pain, and the failure were never there to stop you. They were there to shape you into everything you were always meant to become.